run away, 'cause together we get stronger every day. I feel this change for the better.
Hey everyone, what's up and welcome back to the 31 Days of Motivation. So we are still working through all of the goals, but I'm giving it to you guys in bite-sized chunks so that you can do it as quickly or slowly as you need so that you can be successful. So just a quick reminder, if you don't already have the 31 Days of Motivation workbook, make sure you get into the Chasing Wellness Facebook group, and you can get it there plus extra resources and tips and tricks. So today we are going to be kind of going back a little bit to things from yesterday and building on it a little bit more. So yesterday we talked about what are those things that are super important and what are those things that, you know, held you back and kept you from being successful. We're going to look at that first part a little bit more in depth today. We are going to look at what our priorities are. So just because something is important to you doesn't necessarily mean that it is a priority in your life. Things can be important but not be priorities, and that's totally and completely okay. What we are looking at today is I want you to think about what are those things that are the most important to you. Is it your family? Is it your community? Is it your job? Is it your health? Is it, you know, your faith or your religion? What are those things that I always like to describe them as, in a way, they're non-negotiables. Those things cannot be given up. They cannot be put to the side, and you're not willing to sacrifice them. So what are those priorities? The other thing that I want you to think about is think about the way that you currently spend your time now. So break it down into like a 24-hour chunk. What do you normally do? Then whenever you create that whole list, go back and what are those time suckers? Is it jobs? Is it cleaning? Is it stuff around the house? What are those time suckers? I always say mark those in red, because that way then you can account for them and you can kind of color code them as you go. After that, what are those things that are the most important to you? Is it spending time with your family and kids? Is it, you know, is it your job maybe? Like, is your job super important to you in that capacity? And so take like blue or a different color and highlight or circle all of those things that are important to you. Look at those areas. How many of the red areas and the blue areas, for example, overlap? How many of those time suckers, as I guess you could say, the things that you spend the most time on and the things that are the most important, what of those overlap? That is a really good way to help you find what your priorities are. So your priorities really truly are the things that are the most important, but also you spend the most time on. So think about that and take stock of your day and do all of that. Then list what are the top things for you that are your priorities. So what are your top 5 priorities? Those can be the things you spend the most time on and are the most important to you. Those can be the things that maybe you don't spend the most time on, but you are not willing to give up, those non-negotiables. So you have to build those 5 priorities in no matter what you do. And your goals have to really truly be aligned with those priorities, because otherwise you're never going to achieve them. You're not going to work towards them, and it's going to be frustrating for you because you're going to feel like something is lacking or something is being sacrificed. So figure that out. What are those important things? What are your priorities? The things that make the most time? And then what are your top 5 priorities so that they can be aligned with your goals? So I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll keep building on all of that. Bye, everybody.